When it comes to your income, it is the single biggest tool that you have in your toolbox to really creating financial wealth. Today's video, we're going to be looking at ways to increase your income potential and essentially earn more money. Now, looking at our budgeting strategy, guys, number one, when you calculate your income, you can really break this down into a couple different buckets. But bottom line is what you have left over in the month is what you do have to invest. We're going to be looking at some ways to increase income. Now, before we get into it, guys, let me know in the comments below if you know any ways to really boost up that income. We're going to look at number one, getting educated. Now, this just does not mean going to school, getting an advanced degree, looking at a 2-year, 4-year college, even master's program, PhD program. It doesn't seem like education is really as prevalent as it used to be. With it being said, guys, there are a lot of certificates. There's a lot of different Google certificates. There's a lot of places where you can get 2-year programs. Degree on-the-job training is really replacing a lot of the formalized education in a lot of the different fields. Now, a lot of employers have also dropped a lot of their degree requirements if you can perform the job. Now, again, this is going to be really hard because when it comes to some places, when you think of doctors, lawyers, when you think of accountants, when you think of a really specialized field, the utility or having the ability to go to school is going to be required for a majority of those because there is such a great in-depth knowledge of the industry and you really want to know, and you do have to know exactly getting those, again, those certificates and really getting the education that you need. But there's a lot to be said when it comes to trade schools, when it comes to welding, carpentry, dental hygienist, air traffic controller. There are a lot of degrees that are not really required or a lot of the on-the-job training, a lot of informal classes, schooling that you can do, that a lot of it is actually offered at a very low cost or no cost to a lot of people, depending on where you are. Second one we look at is learn to deal with people. The customer service industry, as much as we like to think AI is going to kind of take over everything, we're going to see robots everywhere. Second thing is increasing their lifetime earning potential is dealing with people, guys. If you get management experience, even if you're exposed to individuals, the more that you can really get to know people, get to learn people, especially if you are in a sales orientation role, the sales comes with experience and it really gets to knowing and reading people. This is something that comes with time. This is unfortunately, one of the soft skills that cannot really be taught in a textbook. It is very, very hard to acquire these skills without actually having the formalized training. Now, a lot of this, whether you're waiting tables, whether you're doing sales at a financial institution, you get a lot of exposure to people and knowing how to deal with people. Now, you can get some training, some teaching, mentors to really help along with this. But again, a lot of the customer support aspect is just going to come with time. Even teaching a new employee, for instance, if we have a new employee to the credit union, it does take a considerable amount of time. We can teach them the fundamentals, but it's incredibly difficult to teach them how to deal with people, especially when it comes to specialized situations that can be more difficult or can be more emotional for a lot of people to deal with. Now, number three, guys, using time efficiently. This is one of my absolute big pet peeves. If you've read The 25th Hour, if you looked at really planning, this goes into making your life easier, guys. Earning potential goes up exponentially when you set aside time to actually do the things you need, whether it is at work, setting aside time to do tasks, whether it is, spending time to read books, to research things, to improve. The self-improvement aspect is what I feel like a lot of people are really lacking, where if you want to get, on YouTube and you want to do this, it takes time, it takes dedication, a lot of consistency when it comes to a lot of different things. And also, people that want to be and are self-motivated will come to their manager. What is the next steps? What can I do? What does the career plan look like? What is kind of the guidance that you can really prepare me for? What programs can I want? When you have an individual that is self-driven, that is really looking at all of these opportunities, it works incredibly well, guys. The deeper the experience and the expertise that you have in a field, the more value you're going to be. And that is, of course, something that we want to talk about, guys. Now, when it comes to value, a lot of people with a lot of experience, a lot of tenure, really add value and bring value to a company, which is the reason why a majority of those individuals are promoted within. We see a lot of advancement opportunities if they are creating value. So the trick is, guys, make yourself valuable, know your job inside and out, know the job above you, the job below you, if that is a job that you used to do, but really adding and leveraging the value when it comes to the company that you work at really does put kind of the invaluable aspect of you, that you might be the last employee to go if there is a layoff, if there's a firing, if they are downsizing, anything of that nature, because you are bringing a lot of value and you're bringing a lot of value to the company. Now, once you have all these guys, it is really scaling and leveraging. So one of the things when it comes to sales is if you sold to one single customer, that is right, guys, your first sale, your first customer, this is going to be a scaling. It is no longer an issue of getting over the hurdle, knowing the products, knowing the services. If you made the first scale, if you made that first sale, it is really about scaling what you have, guys. The exact same rings true with social media. When you look at YouTube, when you look at Instagram, when you look at TikTok, when you look at a lot of different places, guys, it is really, you start with one subscriber, then you got 10, now we have 100, now we're almost to 500 on the channel. It is really, again, the consistency that is going to scale this business. When I've been doing it for a month or two, when I've been doing it for 6 months, 12 months, now you're looking at 5 years, the scaling and the leveraging is there, guys. That is how a company goes from $1 million to $1 billion to 5 billion to 10 billion, so on and so forth, when you are scaling and when you have the ability to actually grow. Also, when you look again, personally, looking at your value, making sure, guys, wherever you're at in the company that you're in, is there another company that would pay you to do the job that you're doing right now at a much higher rate? Can you find something to outsource? Can you find something to leverage? For instance, a lot of videos that we do here, we do outsource the editing for them. Some I do myself, which takes an incredible amount of time, but I've seen the time return on editing and being able to really scale and leverage YouTube to doing videos every single day. It is going to require more than just myself because of the time constraints that I have. So I'm leveraging my outsized resources to actually go into the video editing piece of this. So guys, again, a couple really, really cool things about this to increase the income potential. Education, guys, make yourself invaluable within the company you work for. Make sure that you are, doing above and beyond. When I go to work, a lot of people that we see across a lot of different platforms do 50%, 70%, maybe 80% of the work. Imagine if you were the one individual putting 100, 110, 120% in every single interaction with every single person. Whether it's sales calls, whether it's cold calling, whether it's a sales orientated role, regardless of what you do, guys, think and really internalize. Are you doing it to the best of your ability? Are there things that you could work on? Even for a lot of institutions, guys, they offer free schooling. So a lot of companies will pay for schooling. Almost nobody takes it. When I used to work at a banking institution, they offered $5,000 a year for school. We had roughly about 7% of the employees of a large organization that actually used the tuition reimbursement program. So they had the ability, they had the tools, they had, the time, just lacked the ambition to actually go out there and do it and get the education piece completed, even though someone else was footing the bill for it. All right, guys, so that'll do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.